Not sure why Jamaica is getting involved in this, because to me, this is not our business. This is nothing more than Jamaica helping to colonize a fellow Caribbean island. The British government did not give the British Caribbean reparation after the passing of the Abolition of Slavery Act in 1833. The British government instead paid former slave owners £20 million for property losses, including slaves. This act basically converted enslaved people to so called apprentice laborers, which to me means the same thing. Haiti, on the other hand, fought the French army led by Napoleon. One declared independence in 1804. Haiti became the first black state in the New World. This independence is where their trouble started. Guru family, listen. In order for Haiti to get diplomatic recognition, France in 1825 demanded Haiti sign an agreement to pay them 150 million francs for property losses, including slaves. As a result of winning the revolution, this debt took the Asian people 122 years to repay. 1947 was when they finally paid it off. This was a rough start for a new country. So when these big countries, namely France, Canada, and the United States, pretend it's only mismanagement and corruption to be blamed for the state of Haiti, they are wrong. Listen to this. I cannot believe Jamaica and the Prime Minister, Andrew Holness, is getting involved in this. I'm wondering how much is he paid, who's being paid, because he cannot be just doing this. Let's listen to this news report from France 24 English.
Promised and long awaited, a contingent of 20 soldiers and 4 police officers from Jamaica, as well as 2 Belizean soldiers, have now touched down in Port-au-Prince, where they join the 400 Kenyan police deployed in June and July.
To gather here today for the sole purpose of welcoming our brothers from Jamaica and Belize for this special mission that we are undertaking. And I can tell the Haitian community and the Haitian people, as I said earlier, we are not going to fail you.
The mission's mandate is to counter gangs, improve security conditions in the country, and secure critical infrastructure. In May, Jamaica pledged their support for the mission, promising a contingent of 200 officers, but the Prime Minister said it was not possible to deploy them all at once.
Haiti.
Imagine, people, this is what Prime Minister Andrew Holness is saying after what happened in August in Jamaica, the mass shooting. Jamaica cannot even control their own crime situation, and they are exporting people that should be there on the ground helping to fight crime. So let's listen to the Jamaica Gleaner to see what happened in August on Jamaica Now.
Johnson, and this is Jamaica Now. Jamaica was rocked this week by one of the worst cases of mass shooting in the country's history. 8 persons, including a child, were shot dead in what the authorities are labeling an act of terrorism. The attack took place at a birthday party at a car wash in the community of Cherry Tree Lane in Four Paths, Clarendon on August 11. The victims in the suspected reprisal attack have been identified as 27-year-old therapist Cavell Daly, 50-year-old construction worker.
So this is what's going on in Jamaica. And our Prime Minister, Andrew Holness, is sending police personnel, soldiers, to another country to help colonize that country instead of fighting crime in Jamaica. People, you tell me, leave your thoughts below.
Lawrence Francis, 20-year-old Cashier Diamond Bennett, and 58-year-old Butcher Errol Stewart. The other four are 32-year-old Jermaine Booth, Courtney Messam, a woman identified as Margaret, and a 7-year-old boy, Aidan Bartley, who attended Four Paths Primary and Infant School. A 1-year-old boy and a 70-year-old woman are among 9 others who are injured and have been hospitalized. Residents and relatives were inconsolable as officials visited the community in the aftermath.
Oh God, oh God. Oh.
So this is what's going on in Jamaica. While our Prime Minister, instead of protecting the population, he is sending out security personnel to help colonize another Caribbean island. People, remember, these big countries, namely France, Canada, the United States, in this case, they just want to exploit Haiti. And as you heard in the debate the other night, the former president talking about dog and cat, those things are not true. These guys cause the problem in these so-called third world countries. And when people are leaving the problem to try and better themselves, now they are being demonized by these same big countries that caused the problem in the first place. We're gonna go to Springfield, Ohio to hear what's going on.
Springfield, Ohio, found itself at the center of a fraught election year issue, immigration. Republican vice presidential candidate J.D. Vance claims that Haitian migrants in Springfield are, quote, draining social services and causing chaos. He's also repeated a baseless rumor already debunked by city officials about pets being abducted and eaten, a story amplified by right-wing media and Elon Musk online.
Over the last 4 years, Springfield has seen its small population grow by over 20%, driven almost entirely by immigrants. William Brangham recently went to Springfield to understand how the city is coping.
The sounds of Haitian Creole carrying across soccer fields, in grocery stores, in restaurants, dishing up the popular Haitian street food pate code. It's striking hearing all this in the heartland of the United States, Springfield, Ohio. Springfield's a small blue-collar city with a familiar story. Much of the factory work left decades ago, and the residents followed. A community of more than 80,000 emptied out to less than 60. That is, until the last few years.
Our churches, we see new people.
In the pews.
Yes, absolutely.
Wes Babian was the pastor at First Baptist Church for almost 20 years.
For years, we've lost people, but you hope somebody else will come and take their place. That hasn't happened here.
So he's happy. Now he's getting new people for his church.
Till now.
Because there are folks from Haiti who are coming to church.
Lucas Merzus, who, among his many other jobs, mans the soundboard for Sunday services, is one of those new Haitian members.
Why Springfield?
Of all places. Merzus, with his wife and daughter, were among the first Haitian families to arrive here in 2018.
I got a decent job when I was in Haiti, and then to make a difficult decision to leave, it wasn't easy.
The reason they left is their home country is disintegrating. Protests and increasing violence in the Caribbean nation culminated in the assassination of President Jovenel Moïse in 2021. Since then, the country spiraled. Armed gangs currently control 80% of the capital, Port-au-Prince. Merzus is one of the estimated 731,000 Haitian immigrants now living in the United States.
I got my brothers and sisters. My mother is still living there. I'm always thinking about my family in Haiti.
So people, you see that? This is what's going on. It started back in 2018. So it's not all of a sudden all these people are there in Springfield. That's not the case.
Because of that violence, the U.S. granted what's called temporary protected status to Haitians in the U.S., giving them limited time permission to live and work here.
And again, people, as you hear it, they are not like illegal, right? They were given permission to be there by the United States government.
TPS was then expanded by the Biden administration. Merzus says he came to Springfield for the same reason most Haitians did. He heard that housing was cheap and jobs were plentiful.
What started slowly, we had an application pool that was a little bit different.
People coming to work here.
People looking for jobs. What he's welding here again are welded axle components.
Jamie McGregor is the CEO of McGregor Metal, which makes welded parts for the auto and farm industries. Right now, about 10% of his workforce is Haitian, over 30 employees.
I wish I had 30 more. Our Haitian associates come to work every day. They don't have a drug problem. They'll stay at their machine. They'll achieve their numbers. They are here to work. And so in general, that's a stark difference from what we're used to in our community.
McGregor acknowledges the sudden arrival of so many new immigrants is a challenge on multiple fronts, but he believes this is part.
So he's another one that is happy for the immigrants, the Haitians in his business. They are hard workers.
How the industrial Midwest can regrow.
We want more jobs in our community. And in order to fill those jobs, some jobs need to be people who are not originally from here.
There's things in the last 5 years that have really changed and has been a forward improvement for Springfield, but this is taxing the resources of the city. Well, afterwards,
Springfield's mayor, Rob Rue, says he was cautiously optimistic when the first Haitians settled in town, but then their numbers quickly rose. The city estimates 12 to 15,000 Haitians are here now.
The infrastructure of the city, our safety forces, our hospitals, our schools. Springfield is a close community and has a big heart, but at the same point, we've had this influx that has taxed all these services.
The number of students needing English language help has quadrupled in 5 years. Translators at the local health center cost hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. And last year was the busiest year on record for the fire department. But it seemed that for the community at large, the increase in immigration and its stresses largely flew under the radar. A lot of that changed last August. It was the very first day of school, and a school bus full of kids was coming down this road. A driver coming in the other direction came around that bend, said he was blinded by the sun. He clipped the bus, and the bus ended up in this ditch.
We begin with breaking news. Right now, multiple law enforcement agencies are on the scene of a deadly school bus crash.
Dozens of children were injured, and 11-year-old Aiden Clark died. When the driver...
This is when basically the trouble started for the Asians. This is when people started noticing them, basically.
The driver was revealed to be a Haitian immigrant without a U.S. license. Things erupted.
The majority of the Haitians here are low skilled and they're illiterate.
I want to know who's busing them in, who's responsible for that, and who can stop them from coming.
Our concerns don't have anything to do with racism. They have to do with lack of affordable housing.
For the past few months, Springfield resident and former journalist William Monaghan has been a fixture at City Commission meetings. He helps run a Facebook group that's become a clearinghouse for locals' concerns about the Haitians, where people complain about everything from reckless driving to higher rents.
Do you shop in Springfield? No. Do you drive the streets of Springfield? No. Do you consider that Springfield is your home? No. Are your kids safe in school? No.
They're talking about I got kicked out of my house because the rent went way up. My insurance has gone way up. I don't feel safe in the stores anymore. With maybe a couple exceptions, it's never a race issue. But they want to make it sound like a racial issue so they can demonize us and ignore our concerns. But these are valid concerns.
I have the same fears that you as mom and dads and grandma and grandpas and aunts and uncles have.
I won't say this is a Haitian crisis. This is an immigrant crisis. It's the fact that we have so many people here and we have a culture clash.
Mayor Rue says reckless driving is an issue, but there has been no uptick in crime related to the immigrant population. But with
That's what I'm talking about. No increase in crime. But let's listen to Springfield native John Legend, and he is also a celebrity. So let's go over to John Legend to hear what he has to say.
Hello, everyone. My name is John Legend, and I was born as John R. Stevens from a place called Springfield, Ohio. Oh, Springfield, Ohio. You may have heard of Springfield, Ohio this week. In fact, if you watched the debate, we were discussed by our presidential candidates, including a very special, interesting man named Donald J. Trump. Now, Springfield has had a large influx of Haitian immigrants who have come to our city. Now, our city had been shrinking for decades. We didn't have enough jobs. We didn't have enough opportunity.
So there you have it. The same thing like what the PBS NewsHour was saying. It's the same thing he is saying.
People left and went somewhere else. So when I was there, we had upwards of 75,000 people. And in the last 5 years, we were down to like 60,000 people. But of late, during the Biden administration, there have been more jobs that opened up, more manufacturing jobs, more plants, factories that needed employees and were ready to hire people. So we had a lot of job opportunities, and we didn't have enough people in our town of 60,000 people to fill those jobs. And during the same time, there had been upheaval and turmoil in Haiti, and the federal government granted visas and immigration status to a certain number of Haitian immigrants so they could come to our country legally. And our demand in Springfield for additional labor met up with the supply.
So there you have it. They are basically helping. I'm not saying that there isn't any problem. Of course, there is problem with integration and stuff like that. But they are basically helping Springfield.
Of additional Haitian immigrants. And here we are. We had about 15,000 or so immigrants move to my town of 60,000. Now, you might say, wow, that's a lot of people for a town that only had 60,000 before. That's a 25% increase. That is correct. So you might imagine there are some challenges with.
A lot of people are bashing John Legend because he's rich, he's not living there anymore, so he is removed from the problem. So people are saying that he has no right to speak on it. But I tend to agree with him. I agree with what he is saying and his take on it.
Integrating a new population, new language, new culture, new dietary preferences, all kinds of reasons.
John Legend, don't get it twisted now. That dietary talk, no dogs and cat buddy, no dogs and cats and pets, okay? Okay.
reasons why there might be growing pains, making sure there are enough services to accommodate the new larger population that might need bilingual service providers, et cetera, et cetera. So there are plenty of reasons why this might be a challenge for my hometown. But the bottom line is these people came to Springfield because there were jobs for them and they were willing to work. And they wanted to live the American dream, just like your German ancestors, your Irish ancestors, your Italian ancestors, your Jewish ancestors, your Jamaican ancestors, your Polish ancestors, all these ancestors who have moved to this country, maybe not speaking the language that everyone else spoke, maybe not eating the same foods, maybe having to adjust, maybe having to integrate, but all coming because they saw.
He is leaving out the fact that the United States, mainly France and Canada, are the reason why these people are coming to the United States in the first place. But we are going to get into some of the history. We are going to listen to Professor Jemima Pierre when she was on Democracy Now! Let's listen some more of what he has to say. Then we will go over to Jemima Pierre on Democracy Now!
Opportunity for themselves and their families in the American dream, and they came here to do that. Some facts about immigrants. They usually do very well here. They are hardworking, they're ambitious, they commit less crime than native-born Americans, and they will assimilate and integrate in time, but it takes time. So I think all of us need to have the same kind of grace that we would want our ancestors to have when they moved here with our Haitian brothers and sisters who move here too. And nobody's eating cats. Nobody's eating dogs. We all just want to live and flourish and raise our families in a healthy and safe environment. How about we love one another? I grew up in the Christian tradition. We said to love our neighbor as we love ourselves and treat strangers as though they might be Christ. So how about we adopt that ethos when we talk about immigrants moving to our communities and don't spread hateful, xenophobic, racist lies about them.
There you have it. That's John Legend. We're going to move now to Professor Jemima Pierre for some history on how all of this got started.
Yes, definitely. You know, we say the crisis in Haiti is a crisis of imperialism. In 2004, as has been revealed and admitted to, the US, France, and Canada got together and backed a coup d'etat against the country's first democratically elected president, Jean-Bertrand Aristide. And the US Marines flew into his home, put him on a plane with his security officials, his wife, and aide, and flew them to the Central African Republic. And people can actually go to the Democracy Now! Archives, which covered this live. And I remember listening to this happening live. And the point of this was that this coup d'etat.
So there you have it, people. This is not a thing that just started, right? This has been happening. It has been happening because Haiti was the first Black state to gain independence in the New World. And again, I will say it, they demanded, especially France, demanded that for Haiti to get diplomatic recognition in 1825, they would have to sign this agreement and pay them 150 million francs for property losses. And this took Haiti 122 years to repay. They finally paid it off in 1947. So this is how they started off Haiti. So don't think that it is only mismanagement and corruption to be blamed to what's going on in Haiti. Don't pretend these countries, France, Canada, and the United States, don't have a hand in it. They do.
Which was led by two permanent members of the UN Security Council, was then sanctioned by the UN when these same two members of the UN Security Council, and that's US and France, basically pushed the UN Security Council into sending a multinational military force to Haiti, armed under Chapter 7 deployment. And that itself was illegal because the original coup d'etat was illegal. The US ambassador to Haiti and the deputy ambassador were in the process. They're the ones that named who the interim president would be, put together a council of sages that basically restructured Haiti's elected president. And back then we had 7,000 elected officials. Today we have 0. And over time, I say Haiti has been under occupation because it is this military occupation, the minister occupation that's went from 2004.
There you go. And this is why I said Jamaica has no business going to Haiti. Even Kenya has no business going to Haiti because they are just using these black countries to colonize another black country. Their strings is being pulled by these big countries, right? They are just putting on black faces on this new colonization that they are doing in Haiti.
2007, that established the core group, that it's an unelected group of Western officials, including Brazil, which led the military arm of the occupation in 2004 under Lula, which led then, which has been controlling all the actions in Haiti, down to naming who the prime minister would be, Ariel Henry, after the assassination of Jovenel Moïse. I have to quickly say, though, one of the key things that happened is in 2010, after the earthquake in Haiti that killed hundreds of thousands, where the U.S. pushed the sitting president, René Préval, to have elections. And in the WikiLeaks papers revealed to us later that Hillary Clinton actually flew to Haiti and changed the election results, where Michel Martelly of the PHTK political party did not.
And this is also why they don't like Julian Assange, because they don't want their secret out. This is why they try to keep him in prison for life. But now he's finally out, and we will see what's gonna happen now.
Not make the first round, but the U.S. forced the Haitian Election Council to actually put him in the second round. And so establishing the PHTK, Michel Martelly, a neo-Duvalierist, as Haiti's president, with under 20% of the people voting, with the largest political party in Haiti, La Balance, not being able to participate, we set the stage for what we see today. So by the time we get to Ariel Henry being imposed on the Haitian people by the core group, we have no elected officials because Michel Martelly, basically under him, we lost a lot of, we didn't have many elections, and then he put in his protege, Jovenel Moïse, who was also unpopular and didn't run any elections. So we actually haven't had any elections in Haiti since 2016, when Jovenel Moïse was selected for us by the core group. And so to understand what's going on in Haiti, we have to understand how the original moment of the 2004 coup d'etat led us to the complete destruction of the Haitian state. And if we don't do that, we don't understand these current flare-ups where people are saying they want their democracy back, and saying that whatever negotiations that are happening outside of Haiti has nothing to do with them because it has not included them.
And another thing, people, whenever you hear the United States say it is time for a country to get democracy, that country usually will never know peace. Never know peace. And you can see that is what basically took place in the 1980 election in Jamaica also, because they were saying that Michael Manley was getting too close to Cuba. And you saw what happened. And they put in Siaga, and he was more leaning to the United States. And after that, Jamaica never knew peace. No more peace in Jamaica after that. Jamaica do not know any more peace. And this is what I'm talking about. And this is basically what she is saying.
And we went to the Central African Republic in a small plane with U.S. Congress member Maxine Waters and the late founder of TransAfrica, Randall Robinson, and a Jamaican MP. We flew to the Central African Republic. They went to retrieve the Aristides who'd been put there by the United States. And as we were flying back over the Atlantic, they got word from that Rumsfeld, Condoleezza Rice, and Colin Powell were saying that the Aristides were not to return to this hemisphere, were not to return to Haiti, to which Randall Robinson replied, "Whose hemisphere?" And so he was not able to land in Haiti and went into exile in South Africa, where you have also taught for many years, for over 7 years. And then we went to South Africa when he finally returned to Haiti. And people can see all of those reports at democracynow.org. But I'm wondering, I wanted to talk about the latest news, the Miami Herald reporting that Secretary of State Antony Blinken spoke by phone Thursday with Haitian Prime Minister Ariel Henry in a series of calls that officials described as tense. This is the U.S. State Department spokesperson Matthew Miller speaking Wednesday about the violence in Haiti.
As the situation on the ground grows increasingly dire, we in CARICOM have continued to call on stakeholders, including the Prime Minister, to make concessions in the interest of the Haitian people. So we are not calling on him or pushing for him to resign, but we are.
So this is basically old. This happened a few months back. So this is why he's talking like this. But anyway, people, Guru family, I am just trying to give you some perspective about this whole Springfield, Ohio thing. Donald Trump is trying to put immigration as an issue for the November election. So I'm just trying to put things into context as to why the Haitian immigrants are in America and how it is their fault, and now they are demonizing these immigrants. Leave your thoughts below. Thanks for watching. Please thumbs up, subscribe. Always want more, and make sure you are worth more. I will catch you in the next one.